In this video, I'm going to talk about how I lost over $20,000 investing into AMC. I'm sure you've probably heard of this stock before, and if you're just getting started when it comes to investing in the stock market, then this will be a great video where you can hopefully learn from my past experiences and not fall into the same trap that I did when I first started really, diving into the stock market and investing. So, rewind probably like 4 years ago. I was working in the car dealership and I was making more money than I knew what to do with. So I opened up a brokerage account, I put like 50K in there. I was making all kinds of different trades with like penny stocks and high risk. So AMC came along and, well, that seemed like a perfect stock for me at the time because I was trying to get rich quick. Lesson number one, don't have that mindset. Don't have the get rich quick mindset because it will come and bite you in the ass. But nonetheless, that's what I did. AMC was all hyped up. I think I bought it around like $12 a share or so. At one point now, I was up like double or even triple my money, probably up $20,000 or $30,000 on that position. And my dumbass holds it because you know why? Everyone else said it's going higher, it's going higher, it's going to 1,000, it's going to 500, it's going to 200. And looking back at GameStop, right, like GME, and it went that high. Nonetheless, I had no idea what I was investing in. The fact that it was a failing company, it had no fundamentals, and I held it. So I remember that peak, right? And at one point, I was up like 70,000 in my total portfolio, and then I was down to like 50,000. And there were so many times where I could have just taken the loss. Or not even at that point. I mean, I still would have taken a win. Like, I was up 30,000. So, I could have taken like a $10,000 win still, right? But I got so greedy and I just was so convinced by listening to everyone on social media and YouTube and Reddit. And I bought into the hype. I bought in hard. I mean, I was not going to sell. I was, diamond handing the position, if you want to call it. But long story short, I became a bag holder and it was a pretty big bag. And, I guess the big lesson that I learned from this is I didn't have a trade plan, all right? When you're investing into a stock that is all hype or a short squeeze, a stock that goes up, hundreds of percent in a short amount of time, just know that it will fall, and when it falls, it's going to fall hard. So one of the biggest things that I learned from this is when you're investing into a company that really has no fundamentals, I mean, everyone's talking about it failing, everyone's shorting the hell out of it. Yes, it might short squeeze, it might be a trade there, and that's the key word, a trade. And that's where you get in, you get up, and you get out, all right? Have a take profit, have your stop loss. Don't hold this thing hoping, that it goes to the moon, all right? Because that's a fool's game. At least that's what I learned from my mistake. Now, with that being said, I held this thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just sold it not too long ago simply because I took a big gain on a piece of real estate that I sold, and I wanted to cancel out the, the capital gains tax. So I was like, hey, this is a perfect time to finally take that loss and, maybe recoup some of it just in like tax advantages, right? So anyway, I held this thing, man, and it kept falling and falling and falling. And I was like, you know what? I can't sell. Like, I was up 30K at one point. I was like, I can't sell. I can't take 20K now. There's no way, right? And then, of course, it goes down. And I'm like, you know what? I'm up 10K now. I was like, if it goes back up and I'm up 20K, I'm out. Well, guess what? It just keeps going down. And then I'm like, up 5,000. So I'm like, okay, if it goes back up, and I'm up 10K, then I'll go ahead and take it, right? And it never went up, and it just kept going down, and it kept going down. I mean, I've never seen a stock literally go from like 70 bucks to like, I mean, it's $2 now, and that's after a reverse stock split. It's absolutely worthless right now. I mean, I think, again, I had like a $15,000 position in my one account, and it was worth, I think when I sold it, like 700 bucks. And I had a, like a $4,800 position in another account, and it was worth like 120 bucks. So I guess the biggest lesson that I learned from this, again, was, first of all, don't be afraid to take a loss, or don't be afraid to, get out of position if it's not going your way. Like, I held AMC until it was worthless, and there was just so many times where I could have got out for a break even, I could have got out for like a small win, I could have got out for a big win, you know, and I kept holding it and holding it, and I was holding and hoping, all right? And if you're just getting started in the stock market, I promise you, one thing that will not make you money is holding and hoping that a stock goes up, all right? So you have to have a plan, right? You have to have a trade plan. Like I said, a take profit, a stop loss, and this is assuming that you're, you know, trading more risky stocks, right? So this was a meme stock, right? It was just all hyped up through, you know, Reddit and YouTube, and, you know, with all the hype and the retailers buying into the stock, it's short squeezed, right? And so again, whenever you see a stock go up like hundreds of percent in a short amount of time, just know that it will fall just as hard as it went up, all right? And in this scenario, I mean, I think it's still falling to this day. I mean, it never stops going down simply because it might be going bankrupt. Now, with that being said, you know, again, if you're just getting started in investing, there are, you know, so many other ways to invest, and mainly that's just like a long-term outlook on high quality companies with good fundamentals. In that scenario, you could buy as much as you want, you could be down thousands of dollars, but if it's a good company, eventually you will recoup your money. And I think that was the biggest lesson that I learned, all right, was realizing that this company was failing, all right, and there was no fundamental value behind it, and there was just a point where it's like, just get out, Jack, just get out, like it's over, right? Cut your losses and move on. To where if you're investing in like Apple or Google or any of these big companies, then, you know, honestly, you can wait it out. 5, 10 years, whatever it is, I can promise you a stock like that is going to be worth a lot more in the future. The biggest lesson that I learned from this was just to stay away from, you know, these hype stocks or these meme stocks or, you know, penny stocks, like all these stocks that are just super risky, and having that I want to get rich quick mindset, all right? That is what whipped my ass when I first started investing. So that was the rise and fall for me when it came to AMC. And again, the biggest learning points from this and what I'm trying to drive home is if you decide to invest in meme stocks or penny stocks, and I do not advise doing so, just have a plan, right? Have a plan to get in and get out, and do not hold it just hoping that it's going to go back up, because I promise you, you know, these meme stocks and penny stocks that have no fundamental value, at least in this point in their business, the chances of them going to zero are high, okay? And you could lose all of your money. So that being said, obviously, if you do want to invest in stocks like this, then just be willing to put money on the line that you're okay losing it all if it came down to it, right? Don't put your whole life savings on stocks like this. And one of the other biggest things that I learned, and if I could go back into time, I would just invest in high quality stocks like Google, Microsoft, Apple, dollar cost average into them, keep buying them, hold them for the long term. And I promise you, if I would have done that, I would have made so much more money than the path that I took. But again, that's the purpose of this video, is for you to be able to learn from my mistakes and not make the same one. So I hope you found this helpful. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.